So, we're all getting pretty used to AI that can talk, write, and even create images, right? Things like ChatGPT. But what if AI could actually do things for you? Today, we're going to break down the next huge step in AI, the evolution from an AI that just generates stuff to an AI that actually gets things done. This is the big shift from generative to agentic AI. You've probably tried this. You ask your AI assistant to plan a whole vacation for you. And I don't mean just give you ideas. I mean actually check the flight times, compare the hotel prices, and book the best one. And what happens? It kind of hits a wall, right? It just can't. Well, that exact limitation is what we're here to talk about. Look, the AI we use every day, what we call generative AI, is absolutely incredible at what it does. It'll write that email for you, summarize a long article in seconds, or whip up an image from a crazy prompt. It's a super powerful tool for these single, defined tasks. And, its popularity speaks for itself. But to get past those one-off tasks and into a world where an AI can manage a whole complex project, well, we need a totally new approach. And that brings us to the star of today's explainer, the AI agent. Okay, let's use an analogy to make this super clear. Think of generative AI like a brilliant encyclopedia. It has pretty much all the information you could ever ask for. But agentic AI, that's more like your own personal research assistant. You don't just ask it for a fact. You give it a goal, and it goes out and uses all the tools it can find to complete the entire project for you. So let's get just a little more formal for a second. Generative AI, or Gen AI, is the stuff we're all familiar with. It's an AI that creates or changes content, text, images, whatever, based on a very specific command you give it. Simple, direct, and really powerful for what it does. Agentic AI, on the other hand, is a whole different beast. The key words you got to remember here are autonomously execute. This AI doesn't just respond to you, it acts. It can reason its way through problems, interact with different tools and software, and change its plan as it goes to get the job done. This table really nails the difference. With generative AI, you get an immediate response. But an agent? It plans and it reflects. Gen AI mostly just talks to you, the user. An agent can talk to you, use external tools, connect to the real world, and even chat with other AIs. It's moving from just doing single-step tasks to managing entire workflows. Really, we're shifting from a tool that you have to drive to a partner that's self-directed. And this diagram shows you why it's so different. Generative AI is basically a straight line. You give it a prompt, it gives you an output. The end. But agentic AI works in a continuous loop. It thinks, it uses tools, it remembers things, it acts, it gets feedback from what it just did, and then it refines its plan. It's not just a bigger brain, it's a completely new way of operating. So how does this new system actually work? How does it pull all this off? Well, it really comes down to two brand new core abilities that make these agents so powerful: the ability to reason and the ability to interact. You can think of standard generative AI like your brain's gut reaction. It's fast, intuitive thinking. It hears a request, processes it once, and gives you an answer right away. And that's incredibly fast, but, sometimes our first instinct is just wrong. Check out this perfect example. You give ChatGPT 3.5 a tricky riddle about a banker's age. It jumps straight to a conclusion, it responds immediately, and it gets it totally wrong. It's a classic case of fast thinking without any real deep analysis. An agent, however, uses a process that's more like our brain's slow thinking. Instead of just blurting out an answer, it's designed to literally think step by step, breaking the problem down into smaller, manageable pieces. Now look at the agentic approach to that exact same riddle. It doesn't just answer. It analyzes the question, it plans its steps, it solves the problem, and then this is key, it reflects and checks its own work. Yeah, it takes over a minute, but by actually reasoning through the problem, it gets the correct answer. That's the power of that slow, structured thinking. But thinking is only half the picture. The really mind-blowing part is that agents can act. So here, an agent is given a pretty typical office task. Take some info from a spreadsheet and a website and use it to fill out a form. This isn't just about spitting out text. And here's what it does. On the left, you can see its plan, its to-do list. Move the mouse, left-click here, type this. And on the right, you can see it actually doing it, controlling the mouse and keyboard, switching between different apps, and filling out the form. It's interacting with a computer just like a person would. It's wild.
Okay, so these new abilities to reason and to act make agents incredibly powerful. But does that mean there's some kind of magic bullet for every single problem? Well, not exactly.
Let's look at something called the AR challenge. It's a test of abstract visual puzzles that are pretty simple for us humans, but have been basically impossible for AI. As you can see here, the agentic models show this dramatic improvement, jumping from almost zero success to solving nearly a third of the tasks.
And let's be totally clear, that's a monumental leap forward. It's a true breakthrough in an AI's ability to handle these abstract, human-like problems. But it's not the whole story.
Now, let's look at a different kind of test. This chart shows performance on MMLU, which is a test that's all about deep, expert-level knowledge. Think multiple choice questions from law or medicine. Here, the improvement from agentic models is way smaller. The takeaway? For tasks that really just rely on memorized facts, that step-by-step reasoning doesn't give it as big of an advantage.
And this quote really brings everything back down to earth. Even with all these incredible advancements, tasks that seem super simple to us, like navigating a messy website to buy something, are still a huge challenge for AI agents. So yeah, there's still a long, long way to go. So let's put this all together. What does it all mean for the future? Why is this fundamental shift from an AI that generates to an AI that acts so critically important? Well, Agentic AI puts us on something people are calling the ladder of autonomy. We started at level 1 with assistive tools like Generative AI. Now, agents are pushing us up to partial and high autonomy, where they can handle complex jobs with a human keeping an eye on things. And the end goal, well, that's full autonomy, where an AI can handle everything, soup to nuts, completely on its own. What this all boils down to is that our entire relationship with AI is changing. We're moving away from tools that just generate things for us, and we're moving towards partners that can accomplish complex goals with us. It's a massive shift from just delegating a simple task to true collaboration. And that leaves us with a fascinating and maybe even a little scary question for the future. As these AI systems get better and better at reasoning, interacting, and acting on their own, we have to decide, what goals are we going to give them? What complex tasks will we actually trust them to handle first?